Hi.
Hello, sorry, fixing
Fixing my. Oh, it's fine. All right. So we've got Mr. I'm going to try it. And then you're probably going to correct me, but I'm going to try it. Dakukanabala.
Darukhanavala. Pretty close.
Dakukanabala. Okay. I was pretty close. Okay. If you will please raise your right hand, Mr. Dakukanabala. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony that you'll give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
I do.
All right, Ms. Newton, you may proceed.
Thank you. Okay, will you please state your full name for the court?
Feroz P. Darukhanavala.
And what was your relationship to Nilofer P. Darukhanavala, the decedent?
She is my wife.
Did your wife pass away on November 8th, 2022 in Fort Bend County, Texas at the age of 66?
Yes, she did.
And your wife was a resident of Fort Bend County, Texas at the time of her death, correct?
That is correct, yes.
To the best of your knowledge, did your wife ever revoke her will dated October 1st, 2008?
No, she did not.
Thank you. Your Honor, at this time, I'd ask that the court take judicial notice that the original will is in the court's file.
I will do that. Thank you.
Thank you. At the time that your wife executed the will, was she over the age of 18 and of sound mind?
Yes, she was.
And your wife's will names you to serve as the independent executor without bond or other security, correct?
That is correct.
And is there a need for an administration of this estate?
Yes, there is.
After the date of the will, were there any children born to or adopted by the decedent?
No, none.
And after the date of the will, was any marriage of the decedent dissolved?
No, it was not.
She was married to you on the date of her death,
Yes,
correct?
she was.
Does the will name the state of Texas, a charity, or a governmental agency as a devisee?
No, it does not.
And are you qualified and not disqualified to serve as the independent executor of her estate?
Yes, I'm qualified.
Thank you. Your Honor, at this time, we request that the will be admitted to probate and that letters testamentary be issued to Feroz P. Darukhanavala to act as the independent executor of the estate without bond, and that appraisers be waived.
All right. Mr. Darukhanavala, based upon your testimony, I will sign the order admitting your wife's will to probate and appointing you as the independent executor without the requirement of a bond. You'll get some instructions from the court on your role and obligation as the independent executor. And I'm sure that Ms. Newton will go over those with you if she hasn't already and answer any questions you may have. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. And I think I said it's, we're going to waive the appraisers, but I'll let you know that we're waiving appraisers too.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. If there's nothing else, then you are both excused.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Have a good day.
You
You
too.
too.
Bye. Ms. Shaw, are you there?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
Hi, is your attorney with you?
I don't see him yet. He's in Houston and I'm in South Carolina.
Okay. And your attorney's name is Mr. Norris?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let me see if I see there's a Megan Malone. Does that name sound familiar?
Yes, she works for him.
Okay, perfect. I'll go get her. She's in the waiting room. Hold on. All right. And Ms. Shaw, if you can please turn on your camera
Sure.
on your device so that I can see you. And Ms. Shaw, if you'll do the same. And Ms. Malone, sorry, Ms. Malone, if you will unmute yourself and turn on your camera as well. Okay. All right, Ms. Shaw, can you please raise your right hand to be sworn?
Yes.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony that you'll give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Ms. Malone, you may proceed. You need to unmute yourself, Ms. Malone. There you go.
Doris should be here very shortly. I am his paralegal.
Oh, okay.
I am so sorry. Let me just check with him real quick.
Okay. So what I can do is just to put Ms. Shaw and you back into the waiting room, and I'll go to the next case and then I'll come back to you guys.
Okay, thank you.
Understood. I think that he is stuck in another meeting. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, I'll put you back in the waiting room for now.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon. Is it Gerke?
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay. Good afternoon, Mr. Gerke. And it looks like you've got everybody assembled there in your office.
That is correct.
Miss Ahmed is not in the waiting room. Are you expecting her to join us?
I was expecting her to join us. I do think I have her mobile number. I can check if I do, if you'd like me to try to contact her.
Yes, please, if you don't mind. Thank you. I'll put you guys back in the waiting room until and give you an opportunity to
Thank
contact her. Mm-hmm.
Hello, Judge Wallace. I am so sorry.
Oh, you don't have to apologize. I understand the art of multitasking.
Well, what was bad, I chose to update my computer and my phone, and I was in another office and they were calling me, but I wasn't getting, I was
Oh.
in, I mean, we're all in the same
Got
office.
it.
still.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and Miss Malone is still in the waiting room. I guess you can tell her she can disconnect if she needs
Perfect.
to, or I'll just kick her out. Oh, this she just did. Okay. She must have heard me.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, let's go back. And I already swore Miss Shaw in. And then we were waiting for you. And so I put her back in the waiting room. But so you can proceed with your questions for her.
All right. Thank you so much. Hi,
Mhm.
Miss Shaw. Can you tell us your name, please?
Yes, my name's Tina, Tinay Shaw, SHAW.
All right. And how are you related to the decedent, Yin Sun Shaw?
He is my adopt father.
All right. And he died on March 29th, 2021. Is that correct?
Yes,
And it's been less than 4 years since he passed away.
yes,
And at the time of his death, he was a resident and maintained a domicile in Fort Bend County.
yes. Fort Bend County.
All right. And he left a valid will, which I can. Is it all right if I show her on the screen?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's not gonna.
You should be able to share now.
All right. Thank you. And Ms. Shaw, do you recognize this to be the last will of your father?
Yes.
All right. And we'll ask the court to take judicial notice that the original is on file with the court.
It shall. Thank you.
All right. And okay, did he ever revoke that will?
No.
And did he ever have any children or adopt any children after he made the will?
Yes. So this will was signed prior to my adoption.
All right. So you were adopted after the will was made?
That's correct.
All right. Thank you. And did he ever have a marriage dissolved, or was he divorced after he made the will?
No.
Okay. And does the will leave anything to the state of Texas, a governmental agency of the state, or a charitable organization?
No.
All right. And the will named, I believe your mother, Shermay Shaw, and McNama Shaw as executors, but they both declined and renounced their appointment. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
All right. And the will, and you are qualified and not disqualified to serve as personal representative, and you've never been convicted of a felony. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
All right. Your Honor, we would ask that you admit the will and appoint my client independent administrator with will annexed, and to serve without bond, and to waive appraisers. It's a non-taxable estate.
All right. Based on the testimony, I will admit the will annexed into probate and appoint Tina Shaw as the independent administrator without the requirement of a bond. Ms. Shaw, you'll get some instructions from the court with regard to your role and obligation as the independent administrator. And I'm certain that Mr. Norris will go over those and answer any questions if he hasn't already.
No, I don't have any questions.
Okay, excellent. All right, Mr. Norris, if there's nothing else, then you and Ms. Shaw are both excused. Have a wonderful afternoon.
All right. Thank you, Your
Thank
Honor.
you.
You too.
You're welcome. Bye-bye. Hello.
Judge, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Sorry about the delay. A little bit under the weather. I'm trying to catch up.
Uh-oh.
Hearings, but thank you for accommodating. Apologizing.
No, it's okay. I had another case, and so I just I said I'll give them a little bit extra time. So no problem. You guys are the last ones on the docket, so we'll get you guys in and out, and everybody can go on with their afternoon. Mr. Gerke, you've got Miss Davis, Miss Odoms, and Miss Johnson all there with you.
All here with me, Your Honor.
All right, ladies, if you will each raise your right hands to be sworn. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony that you'll give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
I do.
All right, Mr. Gerke, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. First, I'm going to call Crystal Davis.
Okay.
Will you state your name, please?
Crystal Davis.
And you are the brother of Brock. I'm sorry, you're the sister of Brock Green, correct?
Yes.
And Brock died on January the 1st, 2022, here in Missouri City, Texas, in Fort Bend County. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And at the time, he was a resident of Fort Bend County. Is that correct?
Yes,
Your brother died but did not leave a will. Is that correct?
that's correct.
And back in June of 2022, you had me file with the court both an application for administration of your brother's estate and also an application for a determination of heirship of your brother's estate. Is that correct?
Correct.
And as we've discussed, citation and notice has been done as required by the Texas Estates Code, as you had discussed.
Yes.
And again, your brother who died without a will, he had been married one time. Is that correct?
Correct.
And he was married to Danielle C. Green, and that marriage ended in a divorce by a divorce decree dated March the 3rd, 2020.
Yes.
At the time of your brother's death, his estate consisted of a vehicle, and a bank account, and a life insurance policy through his employer.
Correct.
He had a 2007 Cadillac Escalade.
Yes.
He had a small bank account with the Harris County Federal Credit Union.
Yes.
And he also had a life insurance policy through Life Insurance Company of North America through his employer.
Yes.
And a necessity exists for the administration of your brother's estate, first and foremost, because of life insurance policy and having to, so we can gather those funds.
Correct.
Now, you've had the opportunity to discuss your brother and your family, both with myself and also with Ms. Farah, who's on today, who's been appointed an ad litem by the court.
Yes.
And you and your brother, y'all are half siblings.
Yes.
Y'all had the same mom.
Correct.
And unfortunately, your mother passed away just a year before your brother did. Is that correct?
Correct.
And as we sit here today, do you have any idea who Brock's father was?
No, I do not.
As we sit here today, are you familiar with any individual, any person at any time in your life that you've either met, seen, heard of, or know of that claims to be or could be your brother's father?
No.
Are you younger or older than your brother?
Younger.
By how many years?
3 years.
And growing up, and I know I've asked you this over and over, but is there any person ever that you ever met or familiar with that claimed to be your brother's dad?
No.
Now you understand during the 6 months since we filed this application, there's been an effort to locate any person who could be your brother's father.
Yes.
You understand, as your lawyer, we've searched court records in Fort Bend County, Harris County. We've at least attempted to get vital statistics. All those records are no longer available, but we've done research to try to determine who that individual is.
Correct.
And you understand also, Ms. Ahmed, she has also been appointed by the court to do that investigation. She's done that investigation as well.
Correct.
And as you sit here, at least today, from our investigation, me as your lawyers, we've not been able to locate anybody who is your brother's father.
That's correct.
Simply put, you are your brother's only heir at law. Is that correct?
Correct.
And if the court is inclined to grant, you are entitled to the issuance of letters testamentary or letters of administration. You are not disqualified by law. Is that correct?
Correct.
I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Ahmed, any questions for this witness?
Just a quick question. I'm so sorry to hear about the loss of your brother. Mr. Green, I wanted to share that with you. So you both had the same mother, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And his last name is Green. Is that, was he adopted by someone or raised by somebody else where he shared that last name, or is that the last name of his biological father?
No, my mother was married when she had him, so he took her married name, which was,
Okay. His stepfather's name.
no, it's not stepfather. I don't even know the Green Man. This was way before, I guess whoever his dad is. But there's no dad on his birth certificate.
Okay. And so while you were growing up, you were younger than him. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And so there was not a time that you remember his biological father visiting him when he was young?
No.
Okay. I have no more questions, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Ahmed. Mr. Gerke, you may call your next witness.
The next one we call LaShawn Odoms.
All right, go ahead.
Name, please.
LaShawn Odoms.
So did you live in Brazoria County?
Yes,
And how did you know Brock Green?
I'm his aunt.
Your sister was Brock's mother.
Yes,
And how many years did you know him? Did you know him his entire life?
his entire life.
As any good aunt should,
Yeah,
correct?
that's correct.
And you understand that Brock was married one time,
Yes,
and he was married to Danielle C. Green, with that marriage ending in divorce by decree dated March 3rd, 2020.
yes,
Did Brock ever have any children born to him or adopted by him?
no,
As far as you are you aware of Brock ever having a will?
no,
As you sit here today, is there any person, dead or alive, that you're aware of who is claimed to be or may be Brock's father?
no,
And you and I talked about this earlier, but did you ever ask your sister about who Brock's father was?
we asked, but we never got an answer.
Did you ask for more than one occasion, a couple occasions?
Just a couple of times, and that we left alone because that was something that was just unspoken, so.
Okay. You knew better than to ask a
Yeah.
third time. And as we sit here today, and I'm limiting to just parents, spouses, siblings, children, and grandchildren, is the only heir of Brock Green, your niece who's sitting here today, Crystal Davis?
Yes,
Your Honor, I'll pass the witness.
All right, Ms. Ahmed, any questions for this witness?
Yes, Ms. Odoms, how are you? I'm Farah Ahmed. I think we spoke on the phone a little bit,
yes,
a while back. Was there a time where you and Brock maybe discussed about him having a will or kind of end of life decisions or instructions that he wanted to leave? I know he was young, but was there ever a time you had that conversation with him?
no,
If he was going to draft a will or had drafted a will, would that be something he would have shared with you?
maybe, maybe, I don't, that's hard to say.
Okay. And was there ever a time, did you ever see him raise other children as his own?
No,
Okay. And he did not have any children, biological children that you know of, is that correct?
that's correct.
Was there a time where he had moved away or gone on a trip or vacation for a long period of time and you lost touch with him?
Never,
Did he have a safety deposit box or a place where he kept important documents?
not that I know of.
And was anything promised to you in exchange for your testimony?
No,
Okay. I have no more questions, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Gerke, you may call your next witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. Lastly, we call Sydney Johnson.
Okay.
Please state your name, please.
Sydney Johnson,
And Sydney, you live where?
6405 Bayou Glen Road, Harris County, Houston, Texas, 77057.
And was Brock Green your cousin?
Yes,
And you're sitting here today with your mother and your cousin Crystal, is that correct?
yes,
And how long did you know Brock?
all my life, so 26 years.
And did you understand Brock was married one time?
Yes,
And do you understand he was married to Danielle C. Green, with that marriage ending in divorce back on March 3rd, 2020?
yes,
As far as you're aware, did Brock ever have any children born to him or adopted by him?
no,
And have you heard the testimony of both your mom and Crystal here today?
yes.
And do you have anything that you either disagree with or you believe needs any clarification of the testimony that they've provided?
No,
And as you sit here today, is there any person, dead or alive, that you know that could be, claims to be, or has ever claimed to be Brock's father?
no,
And limiting to parents, siblings, children, grandchildren, spouses, is Crystal the only heir of Brock?
yes.
Your Honor, we'll pass the witness.
All right, Ms. Ahmed, any questions for this witness?
Yes, Ms. Johnson, how are you? I think we spoke on the phone
Yes.
2 weeks ago. You heard the questions that I asked Mrs. Odoms and you heard her responses. Is that true?
Yes.
So if I asked you the same questions, would your responses be pretty similar?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there anything you want to add or change to the information that we're asked about Mr. Green?
No, ma'am.
Okay, I have no more questions, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Mr. Gerke, anything else?
Your Honor, based upon the testimony of the witness, we respectfully request Your Honor and the court to issue a judgment declaring heirship that the sole heir of Bronte Green is his sister, Crystal Davis, that she be issued letters of administration. And finally, Your Honor, with regard to bond, because Ms. Davis is the sole heir to the estate, assuming the court grants as much, we would politely and respectfully request that bond be waived in this situation.
Okay. All right. And Ms. Ahmed, I did not see in the court's file a fee request.
Okay, I'm pretty sure I filed it, but you have my amended report, correct?
I do see the amended report. Yes, oh no, I see it. I'm sorry. It was filed back in August. Is that the one? It says it was $562.50.
Yes.
Okay, all right. That's still the amount?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right, I got it. I didn't scroll down far enough so it was there. I just didn't see it.
I just
Okay.
didn't amend the order. I just kept it the same amount. I felt that was fine.
Okay. All right. So after hearing the testimony, I find by clear and convincing evidence that the only heir to the decedent, Brock Green, is Crystal Davis. I am hereby discharging Ms. Ahmed as the attorney ad litem and granting her fee in the amount of $562. I'm also appointing Crystal Davis as the independent administrator of the estate without the requirement of a bond.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I be?
Okay.
All right.
You are welcome. Was there an agreement on how the $562.50 was going to get paid?
Your Honor, my client will have that paid directly out of the funds through the estate, and we'll get that done.
Okay, perfect. All right, thank you. That's all I needed. If there's nothing else, then you are all excused. Have a wonderful afternoon.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.